Merry Christmas is in order. This is the UD Factor. The UD Factor is a program that understands that knowledge is power. And therefore, week after week, we will empower you with information that will enable you make informed choices, especially when you factor in something you've heard on the UD Factor into a given situation. Today, we're going to be talking about cerebral palsy as we celebrate Christmas with the children of the Cerebral Palsy Center. What is cerebral palsy? How do you cope? It drains you emotionally and physically and financially. So today, being a period of love and giving, I invited my friends. Some of them I'm just meeting for the very first time. And the fact that they honored my invitation means that they're my friends. And I have adopted them as the friends of the Cerebral Palsy Center. You'll get to learn more about cerebral palsy, and that is if you do not go anywhere. My name is Yudi. I'll see you after this time out. As you can see, I have all the children of the cerebral palsy home all around me, and we'll get to meet each and every one of them, find out their story on how they got to this center, and find out the story behind the center. And first and foremost, let's get to know about cerebral palsy. And I have Dr. Gbemisola Boyede, who will be discussing cerebral palsy. Doctor, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Tell us about what's your specialty, doctor?
I'm a neurodevelopmental pediatrician. So we basically that's the doctor who takes care of children with all forms of developmental disabilities.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is cerebral palsy?
Okay. Cerebral palsy is a developmental disorder of movement and posture. In other words, the children have challenges with moving, walking, or with their posture as a result of a injury or a damage to the brain when the brain is still developing. So basically that's what cerebral palsy is.
So are you saying it's in the womb that this takes place?
Yeah, it can happen in the womb, during birth, or shortly after birth, usually between the period of right from the time the baby was in the womb till about 2-3 years. That's when most anything that happens to the brain at that point in time can result in this disability known as cerebral palsy.
When babies are born, we celebrate them.
Yes.
And obviously we won't get to know what developmental issues they have. At what age do we get to discover this?
Okay, yeah, cerebral palsy is a spectrum of disorder. In other words, there are some that are mild, there are some that are quite severe. So for the very severe children, even right from the time the baby is about 3-4 months, the parents start getting worried because you notice that the child cannot have neck control. That is when you expect the child to have neck control. And then by 6-7 months, children should be sitting. So usually most parents are getting worried when they notice that these children are not able to do these things at the time they're supposed to do them, and that's when they start getting concerned. About that time, many people are not yet sure. But usually by the time most children are about age of 1, we are quite certain.
1 year?
Yes, most time the diagnosis of cerebral palsy would have been made conclusively.
What are the causes? I know that we say maybe in the womb. What are the possible causes or the problems that maybe a mother who is pregnant would encounter that would end up with a child having cerebral palsy?
Okay, any mom that has a very high risk pregnancy, in other words, the mom was very ill in pregnancy or has some other problem in pregnancy like hypertension, diabetes, or other chronic illness, or sometimes if mother takes some drugs during pregnancy when they are not aware they are pregnant, that could cause any damage to the brain. Such can have children with cerebral palsy. But in our own environment, sometimes most cases of cerebral palsy happen actually during the birth period when there's what we call prolonged or difficult labor. And because usually after a baby is born, the baby is supposed to cry. You see, that's why most times the baby, because the baby needs to get oxygen to the brain. And when that doesn't happen because of the fact that the baby has been weak or the labor was quite difficult, the brain can have some damage at that point in time. So in our own environment, that's one of the commonest causes. We call birth asphyxia is one of the commonest causes of cerebral palsy. Or if a child is ill shortly after birth as well, like if a child has severe jaundice, it can also lead to cerebral palsy. And or if a child has a very serious infection that affects the brain, like what we call meningitis and all that. Those are the common ones. But also sometimes some babies are just born for no reason with some brain malformation. The brain was not properly formed when the baby was in the womb. And so that could also lead to cerebral palsy. So there are many causes, but anything whatsoever that causes a damage to the brain could lead to cerebral palsy.
I know having a normal child is draining enough.
Yeah.
Then when you have one with cerebral palsy, it drains you emotionally, financially, physically. How do you think parents can cope with this?
Yeah, thank you very much. Cerebral palsy is actually like a lifelong disability, but I must state that cerebral palsy is a spectrum. So you have children with mild cerebral palsy, and then you have children with very severe cerebral palsy. Most children with mild cerebral palsy, you don't tend to see them in the hospital because the parent may just know that they were a bit slow, or they have some disability walking or some deformity, but they're otherwise fine, and some of them go on to have normal life and all that. But usually the ones that actually drain parents are the children with very severe cerebral palsy. Those are the children that may not likely ever walk, may have to use wheelchair and all that. So it's quite draining. Number one, the support those parents need in terms of even the medical care or the diagnosis is not there. And in our environment where we tend to spiritualize things a lot, most time people think maybe there's some witchcraft somewhere and all that. So sometimes people want to look for help in the spiritual realm instead of coming to the hospital. And then even in the hospital, we are not equally well. We don't have all the facilities because children with cerebral palsy, the management of cerebral palsy is actually what we call multidisciplinary. There are lots of doctors involved. So you have pediatricians like myself, you have the other doctors like the orthopedic surgeons, you have so many other people. Then you have the therapists, physiotherapists, speech therapists, occupational therapists. So we have so many people, the psychologists, the social workers. So this is a child that requires so many people to manage, and everybody needs to be working together. And of course, being that it's a disability, somebody has to be taking care of the child, and the parents also sometimes they have to lose their job, or they may not be able to work. One person work while the other person takes care of the child. So it's a lot of demand, and unfortunately, even in other places, the government actually supports, but in our environment, we don't even have that kind of support. So it's an overwhelming thing, but then in everything, you always say there's still hope. So you want to encourage the parents and give them all the support that they can get. In places like the CP Center, for example, at least children can have some, or the parent can also have some support. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm sorry I kept you waiting.
No problem.
Don't go anywhere. Let's listen to some more Christmas carol. We'll see you after this time out. Welcome back. We're still at the Cerebral Palsy Center. We'll get to meet the lady that God gave the vision for the center, and we'll get to hear her story. Noya, how are you?
I thank you, Edie.
Thank you for welcoming us into your home today.
Thank you very much for coming.
And how do you cope with all these children?
We just cope.
Tell us the story. How long ago did you start? How did you start? What happened? Tell us your story.
Well, Cerebral Palsy Center is what I would call trying to create that which I could not find. This is my daughter, Chizimuzondu, who is the inspiration for me to start this. I was married, but I didn't have a biological child. Like they say, the marriage broke up. And the next good option open for me was to adopt a baby. So I was giving this child for adoption and she was 6 days old. She was 6 days when she was given to me. Then at 5 months, I remember very well, 29th of November 2006, she was diagnosed with cerebral palsy. She was 5 months old. I never heard the word cerebral palsy. I couldn't even call cerebral palsy. So the doctor was very upset. Of course, when she asked what happened at birth, like we heard the doctor say, it's something that could happen at birth or around birth. So, and she asked me, I said I wasn't at the point of birth. Then he said, wow, how come? And I said, my baby is adopted. So he was quite obsessed and said I should take back the baby immediately, that I'm not able to bring up the child. You know, being that I'm a single mother. I actually went back to the ministry, you know, from where I adopted her. And the woman said, I remember the director saying that, Madam, you can't take care of this child. And that they've never had this kind of situation before. But you know what? Keep the child, we'll give you another child. I mean, it wasn't like, you know, you bought a pair of shoes and you didn't like the shade. So I opted to keep my child. So when she was there, and then I started looking for what to do with her. I started reading about cerebral palsy. Thank God for the internet. I started studying CP. Then in 2010, my baby was three years plus then. After I've searched for a center where they can manage a child with cerebral palsy, I didn't find any. Then I saw the challenges faced by parents, mothers in particular, of children with cerebral palsy, one of which is, you know, there's this general belief that they abandon their children. You know, when they say they are there and we are here. So they abandon the children. But nobody asks, why do they abandon their children? What are the services open to them? Here in Nigeria, it's difficult for a couple to manage with, you know, children, much less when one person is working. So you find out that oftentimes the mother will have to leave job, and then, you know, but then she will be bitter in the next 10, 15 years. It's not like if you leave the child, 10, 15 years later, everything will be fine, but, you know. So you find out that you wake up 10, 20 years, everybody is bitter, the child has not done anything, and you've not done anything. So I used to run a fast food business here, this place where we are actually. It was called Delicante. And 2009, really said I had a vision. I don't know if I had a vision, but I just knew that there's a need, you know, for this to be done. So I closed down my restaurant and blindly started doing what I'm doing. And 5 years down the line, I still get angry. I still cry, but it's far and in between. But most times I'm happy, I'm high, because I'm solving problems for a lot of people, or for a few people, let me use the word, because statistically, according to the, you know, medical records in Lagos, one out of every 100 live births every year results to CP, according to the records. So you can see that I'm not doing anything. When you look at the number of children I have here, we fluctuate between 18 and 20 in the center. And then this year, with the approval of Lagos State government, we started a living upstairs. Because one of the greatest challenges that face a parent is a mother is, what will I do with this child? So you can see my daughter is very big. You can see how big I am. I can't carry her in my back and take bus. So I know that a lot of mothers feel the same challenge. So I opened up my home. So they bring their children. Some of them, they go home weekends. Then in the process, I started having abandoned babies. Like Patrick, you see here. We call him Baba Fashola. Patrick was abandoned in Ajegule Hospital in March, sometimes last year or thereabouts. But in March this year, when we started the center, they prevailed on me to take Patrick. We took him. He's doing okay. Has a lot of health issues, but we managed with him. Most of them come from homes. Like Enoch there, the mother brings him every morning, so the mother is able to go to work. At 4 o'clock, the mother will come and pick him. This is Ayomide, same thing. Ayomide stays with us. Holidays, he goes home. We have Ambode at the back here. Ambode was abandoned in a very classical way, very interesting. The parents checked into a hotel, called for room service. Before room service came, they've left. And that is Ambode here. So through the Lagos State government, they brought Ambode to us. Then we have, you know, there's Shemilore there. There is who is there? There's Chidalu, there is Angel, there is DG, there is Michael over there, there is Precious over there. Most of them don't come every day. So many challenges. If you don't have transport, if you wake up, you don't feel up to it. You know, these are children that may not be heads of state. So for sometimes they are not our priorities, you know, in management. So when the mother doesn't feel like, maybe if she has other things to do, or maybe another child is ill, so the child stays back. So this is what I try to do. The center is run free of charge. We don't charge anything. We just encourage families to support. it's not going as I would have wished it is, but I'm hoping that tomorrow will be better. So that's my story.
Thank you very much. No, yeah, this drains financially. And I know you don't have that kind of money. Drains you physically, drains you emotionally. Do you have any time for love life?
Yesterday, somebody asked me that. You see, when you have a child with cerebral palsy, and then if you're in my shoes now, as a single parent with a child like this, first of all, the therapy we do on these children, for instance, this morning I've had to put in 2.5 hours on my child. I've done 2 hours of therapy for her. Now, ask me, Yudi, what time will I have for a love life in that?
Jesus loves you.
Yes. So, there are things that just become secondary. And things like this affect families. If you take statistics all over the world, families with children with disabilities, the divorce rate is very high. But when you have a place like this where they can get respite, it helps, it helps the homes too. So part of what we do here is to counsel families as well that, it's not a life sentence. You can really make the best out of it, which is what I'm trying to do. Look at these wonderful people here now, just because of this child, So.
No, yeah, thank you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Judy.
Thank you. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. Welcome back. I told you I invited friends of mine to celebrate Christmas with the children of the CP Center. A few of them I'm just meeting for the very first time. Kibite Adeyeye Emmanuel is here to tell us what it means of spending Christmas with children in the Cerebral Palsy Home. And I'm sure this is his first time of having this kind of Christmas.
My name is Adeyeye Emmanuel. From the KB Club, a 511 medical student. I'm here with my colleague, Shotel Lighton. We are members of the KB Club. The KB Club is an exclusive social philanthropic club situated in the College of Medicine, University of Lagos. And basically what we do is philanthropy, academic excellence, and social activities, things like that. And we are here to support our children and put a smile on their faces at the Cerebral Palsy Center.
What is the KB about? KB? How was it founded? What is it? I know it's a group of medical students. How did it start?
Started about 46 years ago.
6 years ago.
Our founder, Professor Oladapo, former student in the college, lectured in the college, held a lot of good posts in the college, and he left the legacy for us, which has stayed for 46 years now. So that's KB Club.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ma'am.
Thank you very much. And they have brought so much for the children, which we will hand over to the children. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes. Christmas, I have my dear friend with me, Ruth Benamaisia. I have known her for, how long have I known you? Almost 38 years old.
Don't say the figure.
And I must say congratulations
Don't say,
on your
know how
daughter's
old I am.
wedding.
Thank you.
How does it feel? Long time coming.
Spending time here.
Yes.
Truly, the Bible does say something about one's righteousness.
Yes. Yes.
Being like a filthy rag.
Exactly.
Sometimes you think that you're doing things and then you see what other people are doing and you know that you've just only scratched the surface.
Yes.
Nonye is, she's about 5 foot something.
Yes. Packs a lot of punch, right?
She looks like just 5 foot something, but she's really more than 6 foot tall. A lot of strength in what she's doing. I have to work.
Don't cry. Don't cry.
I have to work.
It's a very emotional time for all of us. And the only thing that qualifies us is the grace of God.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's
absolutely.
the grace of God. I want to thank you for
Absolutely.
coming to spend your time. And I hope that when you leave here, you will not forget these children.
Most definitely not.
I know I can
Thanks
depend
for
on you.
asking me.
Thank you for coming.
I thought I was very busy. I thought I was very busy.
Because I know you said that when you get here, you will not stay. But I can say that
Yes,
you'll
yes,
stay
yes,
till
yes.
the end.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank
Absolutely.
you so much.
Thank you, my love.
Thank you. God bless. Thank you. Thank you. I wish you all the best.
Thanks for asking me, Yudi.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I have Mrs. Sheyi Izzy, a friend of mine who came in here too to spend Christmas with these children. How do you feel? Did you cry?
I was almost going to cry because this actually brings a lot of memories for me.
Okay.
Because like Mrs. Ruth said, Benamesia, you know, in life you think you are going through a lot of challenges.
Yes.
When you hear other people's stories, you know that yours is just a child's play.
Yes.
And why I said memories is because I lost my younger sister to cerebral palsy. If she was alive, she would have been 39 this year. She died at the age of 3. Like the founder of this place said, no, yeah, we didn't know what it was then. We thought it was spiritual. And I remember that being the first child of the family, several times I actually took her to the bar beach where, you know, these white garment people will pray for her. My father had to send someone to Mecca who said the water that he was going to use to cure her would be gotten from the Holy Land. So many things. And at the age of 3, she couldn't do anything by herself, could not sit up, you know. Very beautiful girl, the most beautiful of all of us. So I just want to know us to know that God loves all of us. And when I see these children, I know that it's just by the grace of God that we are who are today. And because of that, anytime we have a cause to celebrate, we should always remember these ones and show them love. And I'm really grateful that you brought me here.
Thank you.
It has brought back a lot of memories, but I'm glad I came here.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Hello. I have my friend, I call her Sister Lola, Lola Lakija, who I invited for this occasion. She's a dear friend of mine. Sister Lola, I want to thank you for coming. How do you feel having listened to Nonye's story and looking around at these children?
You know, as a pastor,
Yes.
one cannot help but be overwhelmed at the awesomeness of God. I mean, it's good to see that these children have found a place to be taken care of. God will use anything to accomplish His purpose in our lives,
Yes.
as long as we're yielded. Noya is a typical example. I'm sure when she was going through her experiences, people would have thought, oh, she's not spiritual enough, she doesn't pray enough, her marriage is falling apart, she doesn't have any biological children, but see what the Lord has done. And we're just so grateful that God will use the foolish things to confound the wise. These children are confounding us as we're seated with them here today. And we can only say, Yudi, just keep being Yudi.
Thank you.
Because this is an awesome thing you've done. I mean, we all have some organizations we support or belong to. But as the two previous speakers have said, sometimes we need something like this to
Jolt.
ginger us to
Yes.
keep pressing in.
Yes.
And to Sister Noye, God bless you. God bless you.
Mr. Lola, thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much.
much. Yes, I have another friend of mine, Evelyn Brisibe, who graciously, I'm meeting for the first time, but she's a friend of mine now, graciously accepted to come, accompanied another friend of mine, very good friend of mine, who is busy crying in the corner to attend this occasion. I know one would say, why am I speaking to just women? The men are too busy being emotional and crying in the background to want to come in front of the camera. So Evelyn, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
How do you feel?
Emotionally distraught, because I didn't realize there was anything like this in Nigeria. And the reason why I'm feeling this bad is I actually have a combined degree in sociology and social work, emphasis on societal ills and people with special needs.
Yes.
When I got back from Nigeria, you know, I went around uncles asking for jobs and everything, and they kept laughing. What kind of degree is this? Why don't you just go read law or something like that? And I said to them, in the States, it's a big thing. And that's why we're having problems with the societal problems, and, you know, kids with special needs are ignored and that kind of a thing. So I think this is God bringing me back to where I should be. And I think it's going to be the best Christmas of my life.
Thank you.
Because I'm now going to do what I'm supposed to do. I couldn't have gone to school all these years and not
use it.
And not use it. So maybe this is the time God is saying I should actually go back to where, you know, where I belong. So I'm really very happy, you know, to be here. And the Cerebral Palsy Center is going to be seeing more of me. I'll do my bit.
Thank you. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you. Thank you so much, Evelyn. Thank you. Yes, after I challenged the men, one found the courage to come out to speak to us. This is the editor of Glitterati of this day, Nsabang Okonekong. Mr. Nse, thank you very much.
Thank you.
How do you feel celebrating Christmas with these children, and what do you think the media can do to help?
Well, it's a privilege for me. I've had the privilege to be here before to speak with Noye and to do a story on the children. And you know how the media, we can be so very involved with the politics and the economy and everything that's going on, which is good, but I think we also need to focus on
Have a human
children
face.
like this, yes, and the newspapers and TV stations and radio, they're beginning to have special programs and specialized pages. I think also we need to have specialized pages on them, children with special needs.
So what are you going to do on your own part?
I will not only do this story.
They say the power in the pen, the power of the pen.
That's
or the
true.
power in
I
the
will
pen.
not only do this story.
You'll
I'll make
circulate and
time-
syndicate the story.
Syndicate the story, but I'll make time to come back.
Thank you. Thank you, Nse. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
very much. Thank you. Do you want to go to school? What's your name? Tell me your name. You tell me your name. You told me your name upstairs. Ayo. Good. So how are you? You're fine. Thank you very much. Nice talking to you. And you, my queen. Let me talk to my queen. How are you, dear? You're fine. And what's your name? Amino. Would you like to go to school?
She's in school already.
You're in school. And this one with a beautiful smile. How are you? What's his name? Enoch. Enoch, how are you? God bless all of you. Hello there. I know you've learned so much in this season. The Bible says, for God so loved the world that he gave us his only begotten son. This is a season when Jesus was born. The wise men, when they presented all kinds of gifts to him. So this is a season of giving, a season of loving. So my friends came bearing gifts for these children. And the tradition of the season is for Father Christmas to give out presents. And we couldn't wait for Boxing Day for them to box or to open these presents. Today, we have Father Christmas here who will distribute these gifts to these children. And I want to thank my friends, Mrs. Sheizi, Dr. Easy, Dr. Ayesimoju, and Mrs. Ayesimoju, Reverend Afolabi, Cassandra, Mr. Yegun, Pepe, Evelyn, Christine, Ngozi, Sister Lola. I want to thank my friends for finding the time to come to honoring that invitation, very short invitation, text messages, not beautifully crafted invitation cards, to come here, put aside everything they were to do today, find the time to come and celebrate with us children. It means so much to me. Thank you so very much, and God bless you. And the fourth string instrument, thank you very much for finding the time. And I hope that the world will hear you. Thank you very much. And Nonya, thank you very much for opening your doors to us. So I'll just hand over the remaining part of this segment for Father Christmas to give these children these gifts. And as you give to them, I hope somebody will be here to open the gifts so that we'll see the kind of gifts that these children have been given.
We wish you a Merry Christmas, Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your king. Good tidings. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. A Happy New Year. Wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Tidings we bring to Happy Merry Christmas, yeah? Merry Christmas, yeah? Okay. Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas and a happy Christmas. Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Hello, darling. Hello, Christmas girl. Hello, sugar. Shimmy. Merry Christmas, Shimmy. We wish you a Merry Christmas. And a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. God bless you. Merry let heaven and angels sing. Hello, darling. Zimo. Merry Christmas, Lord. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Ayo. That's the name, huh? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Shake my head. Shake your hair. You can hear me. Shake your head. See my head. Shake your head. Have Merry Christmas. Smile. You hear me? Smile. Merry Christmas. This is yours. There you go. Hold it for him. Say thank you. Thank you.